You save for years to take the perfect vacation. A luxury cruise ship, unlimited food, ocean views, entertainment every night. No work, no stress, just relaxation. And for the first 3 days, everything is perfect. But tonight, at exactly 3:17 a.m., you wake up, not because of an alarm, not because of a bad dream, but because something feels wrong. The room feels tilted, just slightly. You sit up, look around. Everything seems normal until you hear it. A distant scream. And suddenly, the vacation of a lifetime becomes the fight for your life. Because your ship is sinking. Chapter 1. Something is very wrong. At first, nobody panics. Why would they? Cruise ships are enormous. Some are taller than skyscrapers. They're built to survive storms, huge waves, even collisions. So when you step into the hallway and see confused passengers looking around, nobody is thinking the worst. Then the emergency announcement begins. The captain's voice sounds calm. Too calm, the kind of calm people use when they're trying not to sound afraid. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing a technical issue. Technical issue? That sounds reassuring, until you notice crew members sprinting down the corridor. Not walking, running. And suddenly, your stomach drops, because professionals only run when something is seriously wrong. Chapter 2. The truth leaks out. Within minutes, rumors spread faster than the ship itself. Someone says there was an explosion. Someone else says they hit something. Others claim a fire started below deck. Nobody knows what's happening. But everybody knows one thing. The ship is leaning more. What was once a slight tilt is becoming impossible to ignore. Water glasses slide across tables. Doors swing open by themselves. People begin grabbing railings. Then the second announcement comes. This time the captain sounds different, more serious. All passengers are instructed to proceed to emergency assembly stations. Immediately, no explanation, no details, just go, now. And that's when panic begins, because everybody knows what assembly stations are for. Lifeboats. Chapter 3. The race begins. Suddenly the hallways become rivers of people. Thousands of passengers moving at once. Parents grabbing children. Couples searching for each other. Friends shouting names. Everybody trying to get somewhere. Fast. You join the crowd, trying not to panic, trying to stay rational, but then you remember something terrifying. There are over 5,000 people on this ship. 5,000. That's an entire small town floating in the ocean. And suddenly a question enters your mind, a question you can't stop thinking about. What if there aren't enough lifeboats? Chapter 4. The worst possible discovery. You finally reach your assembly station. Hundreds of people are already there, waiting, watching, praying. The ocean outside is black, endless, cold, and terrifying. Crew members try maintaining order, but then somebody notices something. 1 lifeboat, 2 lifeboats, 3 lifeboats. Gone. Already launched. The crowd starts murmuring, then shouting, then pushing. People are realizing something horrifying. The evacuation has already begun. And they might be late. Suddenly the calm atmosphere disappears. Human beings transform when survival is involved. Strangers stop being strangers. Everyone becomes competition. And every passing minute feels like a countdown. Chapter 5. The ship is dying. The lights flicker, once, twice, 3 times. Then darkness. People scream. Children cry. The only illumination now comes from red emergency lights. The entire ship looks like a nightmare. Outside, giant waves slam against the hull. Inside, fear spreads faster than fire. You hear a metallic groan, a deep sound, like the ship itself is in pain. Because it is. Thousands of tons of steel are fighting against the ocean and losing. The tilt becomes steeper. Walking turns into climbing. Furniture slides, suitcases crash across hallways, glass shatters everywhere. The ship isn't just sinking anymore, it's collapsing. Chapter 6. Human nature reveals itself. Something strange happens during disasters. You discover who people really are. Some become heroes, others become monsters. You watch a crew member carry an elderly passenger. You see strangers helping children. People sharing life jackets, risking their own safety. But you also witness something darker. People pushing, shoving, ignoring those who fall. One man abandons his luggage. Another abandons his friend. A woman screams that her husband is still below deck. Nobody goes back for him, because everybody understands the brutal truth. The ocean doesn't care, and time is running out. Chapter 7. The impossible choice. Then comes the decision. The decision that could determine whether you live or die. Your cabin contains important things: passport, wallet, phone, maybe even loved ones. Should you go back? Many people do. Some never return, because every minute spent searching for possessions is a minute stolen from survival. You stand there frozen, torn between logic and emotion. Everything you own is down there. But if the ship goes under, none of it matters, because dead people don't need passports. Chapter 8. No lifeboats left. You finally reach the lifeboat deck, and your heart stops. The lifeboats are gone. Every single one. Empty davits hang above the ocean, swinging in the wind. The last seats disappeared minutes ago. The realization hits like a punch. You are still on the ship, and the ship is still sinking. Around you, people begin breaking down. Some cry, some scream, some stare silently into space. Others refuse to believe it. They keep searching, looking for lifeboats that don't exist, looking for miracles. That probably won't come. Chapter 9. The Final Hour. The tilt becomes extreme. Now you're practically climbing walls. The ship's bow rises higher and higher. The stern sinks deeper into the ocean. Everybody knows what's happening. The final stage. The point of no return. A cruise ship isn't designed to stand upright. Yet that's exactly what it's becoming. Passengers cling to railings. Anything they can hold. The ocean is now hundreds of feet below and getting closer every second. Then you hear the sound. A terrible sound. Metal tearing apart. The ship is breaking. Chapter 10. The ocean takes everything. One moment you're standing on a ship. The next moment, you're in the water. The shock is unbelievable. Freezing, violent, merciless. The ocean steals your breath instantly. Your muscles tighten. Your heart races. You struggle to stay afloat. Around you, debris covers the surface. Chairs, tables, pieces of the ship, and people. Hundreds of people, all fighting the same battle. The battle against cold, against exhaustion, against fear, against nature itself. And nature is undefeated. Chapter 11. Waiting for rescue. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. It's impossible to tell. Time behaves strangely when survival is all that matters. The sky slowly changes. Black becomes grey. Grey becomes blue. Morning arrives. And for the first time, you can see the disaster. The ship is gone. Completely gone. Nothing remains. The floating city that carried thousands across the ocean has vanished, as if it never existed. Only scattered debris remains, and survivors, tiny dots floating in an endless sea, waiting, hoping, wondering if rescue will arrive in time. Chapter 12. The Helicopter. Then someone points upward. A sound, faint at first, then louder. Rotor blades, a helicopter, the most beautiful sound you've ever heard. People begin crying, waving, shouting. For the first time since the nightmare began, hope returns. Rescue teams arrive. Life rafts appear. Survivors are pulled from the water. One by one. Slowly, carefully, and eventually, it's your turn. A hand reaches down, you grab it, and suddenly, the nightmare is over. Days later, you're safe. Warm. Alive. But something has changed, because some experiences never leave you. You still hear the alarms, still remember the screams, still see the ship disappearing beneath the waves. People often think luxury makes them safe, that technology makes them safe, that giant ships make them safe. But the ocean has existed for billions of years, and it reminds humanity of something important. No matter how advanced we become, nature is always bigger. And sometimes, the difference between an ordinary vacation and a fight for survival is just one terrible night, one terrible decision, and one sinking ship. The question is, if you were really there, what would you do?